So here we are again, back at Clementine Trail. You can see the bridge behind me. Oh yes, there it is. Me and my goofy hat. Today our goal is to actually make it to the end of Clementine Trail that we didn't get to do the other day. There's lots fewer people here today, so we'll see how far we can get. You probably saw this on the other video, but in case you missed it, that is the Forest Hill Bridge. It is 730 feet from one side to the other. It's a half a mile long. When they originally built it, there were supposed to be 60 feet of clearance from the top of the pillars, 60 feet down, and the rest of it would be filled in with water. But since they didn't build the Auburn Dam, they didn't actually flood the canyon, thank goodness. So we have this. One thing I didn't mention in the last video, when you go across the Forest Hill Bridge, at the top there's a pedestrian paths across both sides, and on the pillars of the railings for the pedestrians there are notes of hope, and they're notes that people write and post on there to try and change the minds of people who come here with the intent to commit suicide. Because there have been several suicides on this bridge, and actually there's been movies filmed where they've launched cars off the side and crashed them into the river. Me and my goofy hat again. Here we are, back on this trail. The lady that started the Notes of Hope, I think she, don't quote me on this, but I think she lost a family member to suicide. I'm not 100% sure if it was off the bridge. It may have been. She got approval from the county, or whoever it is that's in charge of the bridge, to legally post those. So there's little cards, and then they're laminated, and then they're attached with like heavy-duty zip ties, and they're all over the top of the bridge. In fact, there was one story about a guy who came here, I think it was like on a holiday, like Mother's Day or something, years ago, and he was going to kill himself, and he knew about the Notes of Hope, and somebody had gone through the night before and ripped them all down. And so when he got here, he said if he noticed, and he said, if there's just one left, I won't do it. And he walked the bridge, and sure enough, there was one left. So he didn't jump. So anyway, yeah, the guy that didn't jump, I don't know, now he's a speaker for, suicide prevention or something, I'm not exactly sure. But it was a cool story, he had to be there. That's kind of where we left off last time. A little bit more of the rocky part, and a little narrow, but it's only narrow for a little bit, like I said in the last video, and it widens out a bit. But when I get to the part that widens out a bit, I will let you know and turn you back on. I mentioned this in the last video, that one of the reasons that me and my goofy hat are making these videos is for people who either can't go hiking or don't want to go hiking but still want to see what all the hubbub is about. So I know there's a bazillion YouTube videos out there of all the same areas that I'm going in, but they're not me. So I thought I would do this for, mostly for my friends and family who can't understand why I like to go hiking so much. And I kind of gave up on, taking somebody with me. But I do want to show you this. This is actually the Clark Hole, or Clark's Pool, that I was telling you about last time. So I finally came upon it, and let me show you. This is Clark's Pool, or Clark's Hole, and it is a swimming hole. And you can see there's a nice rock over there where you can get on and bake yourself and jump off into the pool. And the river continues on that way. But there's the back side of the bridge. This is the north side of the bridge. So years ago, I think back in the 20s, early 1900s and up to the 20s at least, maybe later, don't quote me on this, Clark's Pool used to be the actual community pool. And there used to be little concession stands down here I can't imagine that they were much more than a cart with some, you know, popcorn or something, but it's very cool. Someday we will go down there and explore it. Not today, but we will go down there and explore it. But it makes for some great pictures. Whoops. Over there you might be able to see, right there, and then again up there, another set, actually, of abutments for another bridge, much, much older than the one that I showed you last time. See, this is pretty much like the rest of the trail. There is an incline, a gradual incline, not so much noticeable steep hills, although there are a couple, but this is pretty much it. So, you know, easy 4 people, and in some places 6. Could walk side by side. It's a very well-used trail. It used to be a stagecoach trail. I don't know that it was the stagecoach trail, but I think it might have been. Again, don't quote me. But like I said in the last video, it ends in a very neato feature that I will show you when we get there. Look at that. Look how pretty those flowers are. Wow. This is another spur trail off down to the river, and it gets pretty steep down there. And if I remember right, and I don't even know, maybe you can see it through there. I think this is the one where there's an old wooden outhouse, like right about there-ish, beyond that tree. I mean, it's like old and dilapidated kind of thing. I don't know what it's doing there, who put it there, how long it's been there, but it's a very weird feature. And you can't get to it because it's just encased in weeds and brambles. See, it's so quiet down here. So pretty. So you can kind of see a little bit of an incline there going up on the trail there, but it's not like a super steep hill, like if you're going to go up that one at the top. Over there, that'd be a little different, but it's really super quiet, and it smells so good down here. By the way, this fellow right here, this Henderson Fire Media, check him out, because he's got a website called On Fire Photos, and a Facebook page. He's a local guy, he lives in Dixon, and he goes out behind the scenes and tracks all the fires. He does an excellent job of tracking the fires when they're happening around here. I mean, he never sleeps. He was on the job with Dixie and Caldor. He even did like campfire back in the day. He's been doing it for a long time, but he's got this business now called On Fire Photos, where he does fire media, pictures of different things. So it's very cool. Check him out. Matthew Henderson, Henderson Fire Media, or On Fire Photos. Do you see it? Do ya? That's where we're going. Look at that. I do believe. Is that maidenhair fern? Am I correct in my assumption? My sister would have to tell me that, because she's a maidenhair fern expert. Another very cool area of the trail where water does come down when we have water. Again, this is California. Water is hard to come by. But I've been on this trail in the winter when there is water, and it's very cool. It does get channeled through that pipe, which is a bummer, and then across the trail and then down. Oh, look, there's a hummingbird. Lots of hummingbirds down here. And there's more of lots of these. I still don't know what they are. Do you know what they are? I asked you this last time. Nobody answered. What are those? This is the trail we just came out of. And you can see that it now branches off to this asphalt road or that asphalt road. That one goes up to lower Lake Clementine. And this little trail road, this is the road you gotta look out for so you don't get run down. There's not a lot of people, but there's enough. Goes down to the cool neato feature that I already told you about, that I showed you. This is the shot spot where you can take a really good footy shot. This is the view that someone like my brother would say, they don't just give these views away, you have to earn them. And depending on your fitness level, you could have very possibly earned them just getting here. But it's well worth it. This is that left road that we took at the fork in the road, or a spoon or a knife or whatever it was in the road. This is the left fork. And it may not look like it, but it goes downhill. And you don't really notice that until you're coming back up. Look, it's another UFO. There's another UFO. That one must be from Walmart. I'm sure it has a happy face on the other side. This is another narrow, rocky part, and it does go downhill, but it gets you to the neato feature. Isn't it exciting? Say it's exciting. It's exciting. See, I told you, it's exciting, huh? That is part of Lake Clementine. That is part of the only water we have in California. That's it right there. There's no more to be found anywhere. And this is the North Fork Dam. And see that tree that's stuck right there? That tree has been stuck there for I don't know how long, and it still hasn't gone over. If you get in the right angle, you can see the rainbow. So let's go down here and get in the right angle and look for the rainbow. So this dam is called the North Fork Dam, and I don't know how well you can hear me if I'm screaming loud or not, but this dam was built in 1939 by the Army Corps of Engineers for, it was a debris dam to catch the debris from hydraulic mining that was going on upriver. And in the process of building this dam, they ended up creating what they call Lake Clementine. And not too long after they built the dam, they outlawed hydraulic mining, so the dam ended up being kind of useless, pointless as far as what they intended it to be. And then in the 50s, they approved building the Auburn Dam, and then I guess it was finalized in the 60s, and then it just went on from there, and then it ended up not being built because they did more surveys and found out that there were fault lines where they wanted to build the Auburn Dam, which would have been farther downstream. And so now we have this dam that's basically just for recreation, you know, so you can see all the boats out there, paddle, the kayakers and stuff. So, yeah. Every now and then you can kind of see a hint of a rainbow over here on the bottom, right around in this area. Probably not be able to see it on the camera, but it is there. Oh yeah, it's there right now, as a matter of fact. You can see kind of right there-ish. But usually you can see a big rainbow over there, but it's the wrong time of day right now for the sun to be in the right place. Spur trail that I have taken before that goes off down here. Oh, let's see, it goes off down here and then it goes around, down to the river. Don't worry, I'm not near the rocks and it's not a banned spot. I'm going to put the camera out there and I'm going to stay back here where it's relatively safe, okay? Hang on. Now I have to get back up to the actual main trail, which is up there. So hold on. Okay, back up from the edge of the waterfall, and here comes some more people. So at this point, I'm probably going to cut out for just a minute, and I'll be back when all the people disappear. That is the remains of the stumbling block tree, a menace to all hikers for trees that grow in the middle of the trail. So they cut them down. This is a pretty tree. They look like little lily pads. What are they? Anybody know? Oh, besides thirsty. Wow, that's really thirsty. He feels really fine and a little wilted. I don't know what it is, though. We're almost back to the entrance of the asphalt part of the trail. That the asphalt part is off to the left. You can't see it yet. But part of that, and then it goes up the hill, up to the lake. There you go. That's where we just came up. Right there. And that goes up to the lake. And then that's the deceptively steep asphalt road we have to take back to get to the dirt. One thing I forgot to point out when we were down there at the lake is that rock outcropping. Do you see that on the hill over there? Right there-ish? That is called Robber's Roost. And it's very, very cool. Oops. Back in the day, when this road was a stage line, the bad guys who used to rob stagecoaches and stuff used to hang out in the hills, attack the stagecoaches, steal all the stuff, and then somehow got across the river. It wasn't a lake then, it was just a river. So they got across the river and ran up in there to Robber's Roost and stored all their stuff because it's hollow inside, like a cave. I don't know if it's all hollow, but I know my brother and my nephew have been up in there, and I've seen pictures, and it's very cool. There's an eggshell. In fact, there's a bunch of them. There's one over there, there's one down there, there's one down there, there's one over here, there's a bunch over here, some over there in the bushes. So either somebody here sat here and ate hard-boiled eggs, or some poor bird didn't fare very well with a hawk or a crow or some other bird. That's a shame. Little caterpillar, are you dead? Here, let's see if you're dead. You're not dead, are you? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You're still kind of alive-ish. I think you got maimed. Oops, I'll stick you over there. Where did you go? I lost you. Where'd I put you? Where'd I put you? I put you right there. Okay. It's so funny. I'm walking along with my goofy hat, and the hummingbirds see it, and they think it's something to eat, and they dive bomb me. I've been dive bombed by like 5 different hummingbirds already at different times. I'm like, hold on, dudes, you know? So they're very cute, but like they come out of nowhere to get my hat. It doesn't work. Sorry, buddy. Look at this little weird piece of wood. I think it's wood. It's got some really weird fibrous, spiny things in it. I don't know if it's manzanita or what, because there's another piece right here. It looks like it used to be in contact with some of those fibrous little pieces. Huh. Interesting. I'll bet those pieces of whatever it was I saw were pieces of pine cone. Yeah, that's probably what it was. Finally made it up that deceptively steep asphalt road on our way back to the actual trailhead to head back under the bridge and back out to the car. Praise be, we made it back to the entrance. Well, not the entrance. This is the north entrance that we just came from. We just came from that way. That is the road that goes down to the trail that goes down to the dam. And then that other road is the one that goes up to lower Lake Clementine. One thing we do have going on this right now is toxic blue-green algae that is deadly, actually. Over there, you can see where my finger is where the footy shot, the shot spot is to take the best shots of because going that way is the river, and then we went down that way to get to the dam. You can see that there's a, well, maybe you can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, if you can tell, but there is a distinct decline. So we are going downhill a little bit. It's not hard on the knees, it's just a lot nicer than climbing up that little path from the dam. There is something to be said about the fact that you're climbing up from a dam, and that's pretty much what you're saying the whole time going up. Use your imagination. Isn't that pretty? The water sparkling like that. Birds chirping. You might be able to see over there. Right there is another foundation of another bridge. Way older, from like the 1880s or earlier. This is the other half of it right over here. Cool, huh? Isn't that spectacular? Look at that. It's just amazing. You really need to be here. This video does no good, no justice to it. There's the bridge. That is just absolutely stunning. Somebody's going to be upset. He could just go on no longer. A life jacket. Guess we'll pick it up and take it to the ranger station. I think it's one of theirs anyway. It's been used today. It's kind of wet still. My other phone died, but I was thinking about this the other day, and I think this might be old mine tailings. Remnants of mine tailings, because they're right along the river, and there's some more on the other side, but they're larger cobbles. But that's what I think that might be, because there's a lot of mining along here. Look at these cool rocks. It's like holes where other minerals used to be, I suspect. And that's the trail that we just came off of, Clementine Trail. So when I got down to the gate, my phone was dead. So anyway, the gate is over there. So I thought, what the heck, we'll come down here to the water and get cooled off. There's a wasp trying to get me, so I'm going to get out of the way. So thanks for hanging out with me today. It was a little warmer than I expected, but it was still good. Come on down and check it out. The water's nice. They tell you not to get in it because it's too cold, but it didn't feel too cold to me. Of course, I didn't get all the way in it. So take it easy, and I'll talk to you later.